Yes, as always, Buy or Sell is brought to you by Jock Market, jockmkt.com. Find it on your app store as well. And we got a brand new promo code. Before it was DFO 25, or sorry, DFO 20 got you a $20 deposit bonus. Cranked it up. DFO 50 gets you a $50 deposit bonus. Head to jockmkt.com. And we're going to start with a bonus.
Just wait a sec. Wait a sec. Are you sporting like a playoff mustache?
Yeah, I don't like talking about it because I was kind of tricked into doing this or dared into doing this by the bosses at Oilers Nation, but I promised I wouldn't shave until the Oilers were eliminated, and it's getting embarrassing in a hurry, Jason.
Are you allowed? Are you allowed near school zones or what?
All right.
That is awesome, greasy. Like, oh, I love it.
It's Ryan Nugent Hopkins-esque is the polite way to describe it, Frank.
Hey, like, what about, what about Philip Forsberg? Does he not have the greatest mustache?
No, he doesn't.
In a long time. That thing is unbelievable. Like, that is thick, man. Like,
Sam
that's a
Bennett.
massive stash.
Sam Bennett has the best handlebar going.
No, well, his is a handlebar, but like Forsberg is just like a big muzzy.
It's thick.
It's
I like when he has like the curly Q going too. That's awesome.
Like, I kind of, you know what? Mustaches are slowly making a comeback. I think I might have to try one for the summer. Like I think they're awesome.
Yeah, I'm just getting ahead of the curve then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you grow one, Frank?
Ever. No.
Can you grow
no chance, and I would never will. No.
Well, then don't talk shit.
I've done Movember, and it was so embarrassing that I got halfway through, and I was like, look, I'm just donating whatever you need. I'm out.
All right. The bonus Jock Market question. Leafs and Oilers both down 1-0. If you could buy the stock low on one of these players, who would it be? Draisaitl or Matthews? Jason, I'll start with you.
Oh, geez. Can I buy both? But if I have to pick one, I'll pick Draisaitl. He's had 1.22 points per game in his playoff career. And he likes the physicality stuff. So I would think him, but man, like Matthews hit the post last night, post bar down, like the guy's going to score goals. So man, I guess I'll say Draisaitl because of his career numbers, but I like both.
Get off the fence. I'm taking Matthews. I mean, look, Draisaitl, you pointed out his career playoff history and how impressive that is. You know, Matthews does the hardest thing in the world to do in hockey, and that's score goals. And he does it so consistently, scary consistently. I would be buying him all day long.
Except on the power play, although this year he's better, but it's amazing to me how the Leafs power play, how inept it is. And then it cost them a game by giving up a shorthanded goal. Like it's
brutal.
It's crazy how they went from 33% guys in their first 20 games, and then 11% the rest of the final 36. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Pets' heads falling off. That's what their power play is.
All right. First buy or sell question I got for you here. Vegas, Tampa, Boston, and Pittsburgh. They're all up 2-1 in their series. This isn't exactly a hot take coming from me. I'll save those for a little bit later on. But I say all four of those teams that are up 2-1, they're going to win their opening round series. Frank, you buying or selling?
I am selling. I like Washington still. And those games have been so close. Like that could go either way. I didn't necessarily love the reaction from Ovi on the miscue on the Samsonov goal that led to the winner. To me, I just save that for somewhere else. There's a time and place, and I get that he wants to win. But I still like the Caps, and I think they're in a good spot, even though they're down.
I would sell because I think the Islanders, if I'm picking a team to come back, I think it's the Islanders. If they get a little bit more consistent goaltending like they had all regular season, they're right in there. So I will sell as well.
Number 2, Hurricanes and Predators. You touched on it earlier, Jason. Canes looking dominant through 2 games. I'm going to say that series, the Preds might get 1, but that's it. It won't make it past game 5. Jason, you buying or selling on that?
Oh, yeah, buying all the way, man. Like Nashville, they got 7 power plays in game 2. 7. And that was a 1-0 game for the whole time until you scored those empty netters late. Like, are you joking? How can your power play be that inept? You're not getting 7 power play chances in another game moving forward. Like that, to me, that was their wasted opportunity right there. So they might squeak out 1 on home ice, but this is, I think I said 5 at the start, and I'll stick with it. Carolina's just too consistent.
I think this is a sweep.
Ooh. There you go. That's the whole answer, Frank. That's all you
That's
needed?
it. That's going 4 games.
All right.
They had their opportunity. I know they're thinking at home they're going to be better. I'm not seeing it. Carolina is clear head and shoulders above the Nashville Predators, and they're going to make it quick and easy.
Well, if you think that's going to be a sweep, let's go to our next one. I think the Avs are sweeping the Blues, and I don't think the Blues really have much of a shot of winning a game at all here. Avs sweeping the Blues. Frank, you buying or selling on that?
I think they get a win, and I think that NAZEM KADRI is the guy that opened up the door. You look at the way that they got their doors blown off in Colorado, okay? And then the response after the game, no one was talking about how the team is down. It was all about KADRI's dirty, bad, whatever, bad hit. This needs to be out of the game. We need to have more respect. The focus was taken off the team. And I think sometimes when you get that sort of artificial rallying cry, that I think that helps galvanize your team a little bit. And they've got enough to take at least one game.
Well, I think Colorado's going to want to lose a game because that's one less game they don't have KADRI in the next round. Honestly, I
hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, honestly, if I know a team never purposely loses a game, but if you lose a game, that's actually a benefit because playing Vegas, if KADRI's, he's an important player to that team. And I thought Scotty Upshall said it really well. He explained how when you come across to make that hit, it is such a low risk chance of you not hitting the guy in the head. When you're coming down and hitting on the backside, when you come in like that, at best, you might 1 out of 100 times have a clean hit. He says more often than not, you're setting yourself up to hit the guy in the side of the head. Even if that's not your intent, that's what's going to happen. So it's just too risky. And NAZEM KADRI, he's an excellent player. He can help your team. He plays hard, all that stuff, plays inside, he's got offense, but that's 3 times now he's been suspended at the most important time of the year. And you become, dependability is the best ability. And when you're not dependable all the time in the postseason, that's a crutch. So hopefully this time, because this is obviously the best team he's played on. And
how many more times is it going to take? Yeah. I mean, this is why he's not in Toronto anymore, enjoying this playoff run with the team that won the North.
Yeah. Well, he's probably happy. Let's be honest, he's on a better team. But you're right, Frank. If people that have to wonder, somebody's got to sit him down and be like, NAZEM, figure it out. Because I'm sorry, when Upshaw, the way he described that hit on my show was perfect. He goes, this is something going in that your chances of land, it's ridiculous. So you just keep making the same mistake. He's got no one else to blame but himself. He's got to figure it out. But I honestly think Colorado will lose a game for sure, Ty, just because that means that there's one less game that he's out against in the second round.
The next buy or sell question I've written down here, at least 4 games for NAZEM KADRI. Frank, you buying or selling?
Yeah, I think he gets 7. Whew. That's where I think it lands. That hurts. That's like 14 regular season games on the scale of 1 regular season game equals, or 1 playoff game equals 2 regular season games. So scale of 1 regular, I think that's where it lands, 7.
And just quickly, he is technically a repeat offender, right? Like the window hasn't expired on him at all?
Well, the repeat offender only counts for
money.
For fines.
Yeah, and that doesn't matter in the playoffs because there is no salary. So they look at his history and they say, well, you've done this, this, and this. There should be incremental penalties, especially for similar instances.
Okay. Yeah, see, I thought he'd get 5 or 6, but I can't argue with your reasoning on 7 that they will.
The last one was 5, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't the last one just the rest of round 1 or something like that?
Yeah, it was just the rest of the round. And it turned out to be was it 4 or 5?
I think it was 4 because they went 7 against Boston, didn't they?
Yeah. So
6, maybe 6, but I think it's more than 5.
But either way, I agree with you. It's going to be long. 7 sounds really long, but you know what? Hey, they're going to clamp down for sure. So if think about that, that's going to be minimum. If it's 6, he misses 3 games in the second round, potentially 4. That's a huge blow. Now, Colorado's a really deep team and they can overcome it. But yeah, 4 is the low bar. I would, if we were on Jock MKT, I'd be buying stock on 4 all day long because I know it's going up to 5, 6, or 7 for sure.
Last one here. Let's move away from the playoffs. You guys touched on the Canucks and Flames a little bit there. I'm going to say on the trade market, the Canucks have a busier summer than the Flames. Jason, you buying or selling? We're hearing reports that guys might be asking out, and if the management is already staying the same in Vancouver, my thought process is they might want to mix at least something up.
Yeah, it's a good question, man. I'm I'm going to sell because Vancouver might have a few more moves, but they won't be as like impactful or big name guys like Horvat and Pedersen and Hughes and Demko, you know, Brock Besser, I don't think is getting traded. So none of their main guys, where if Calgary makes a deal, it's going to be a big deal. So I will sell because I think I will say it'll be a quality of player over quantity.
I'm going to buy. I think Vancouver they're making big moves this summer. I think they're going to have a huge offseason. I think they're going to do whatever they can to dump some contracts that haven't worked. Louis Eriksson, you can't buy him out, but you can trade him. There's a couple teams that are willing to take on bad contracts. So he's one way to clear up space. I think you can move a couple other guys. You won't be re-signing a couple guys. Yeah, I just think they're a team that they need to re-sign Hughes and Pedersen. Obviously, they can make that work. They've already got Demko done, and I think that team's going to look vastly different. And I think another team in the same category, while we're at it, by the way, is the Oilers. I think regardless of whatever happens this year, I think you're going to see some significant changes. This is the summer that both of these two teams had circled to say, we've got a little cap space, finally, some flexibility. Let's make our team better.
Hey, I'll say this about the Oilers. I think this is their most important summer in decades. Like,
yes, 100%.
Team, yeah. They finally got some cap space, but that doesn't mean you just, blindly overpay like a drunken sailor on last call. Like, you don't need to be doing that. Ken Holland has had 2 good summers of smart off-season moves. Like, he didn't have a ton of cap space. He didn't, like outside of the Cassian contract, he didn't make any other massively egregious errors. I thought most were good. They got to try to get rid of Koskinen's deal. But then, what are they doing with Nugent Hopkins? At what term potentially? If they don't bring Tyson Barrie back, which I think he's going to test the market, and maybe he gets out there what he wants, or maybe he doesn't. I think Edmonton, you've got to get some better productive top 6 players to play with McDavid and DRAISAITL. That's apparent at 5-on-5 outside of Puljujarvi. Their other 3 didn't get it done. They did not get it done. And you can't go into another season hoping that those guys will get it done.
It was all about getting to this year. If you're Ken Holland, whatever you did last year in the playoffs, whatever you did this year in the playoffs, it was all kind of gravy. Like, you're hoping to give your team an opportunity to go on a run. And if they didn't, it was like, okay, that isn't what we've built for. Now it's to get to this point, to make those moves. And honestly, I think Vancouver was the same way. It was this season, we know it's going to hurt, but it's about getting to the next year with the pillars that we have in place to then take a step forward in a big way.
There you go. That is Buy or Sell, brought to you by Jock Market. Stay in the game, jockmkt.com. Find it on your app store. Promo code DFO50 gets you a $50 deposit bonus. And with that, my pencil-thin Muzzy and I are out.